All right, are we live? We're live. We are. Let me double check here. We are 15 seconds in. Right on. Sounds good. So, everybody, welcome to the quick live stream update. This is IR Vibes Info Entertainment Reviews. And happy holidays, everybody. 2:55 a.m. and it is the 16th already. Christmas is already here. Yes. Hope you guys are all enjoying the beautiful holiday. So, here's a lot that I've missed lately, and I haven't updated really any of you lately. I've been so busy, especially with the holidays, and I have a few things that I've been working on with my clothing line. So, guys, stay tuned in for that. Got some really cool stuff coming up. Now, to get into the earthquakes real quick, take a look here. Recently, now Indonesia was struck with a very massive quake. Those of you who probably already know about it, few people were basically their lives were taken during a quake. It was a very big earthquake that struck. Now this one, this is the one that was on the 15th. And my gosh, let me tell you what, 6.5 magnitude. And it was deep. Mind you, if this earthquake was only, for example, say 15 kilometers in depth, imagine the catastrophic damages that that would have done. And mind you, again, you're looking at a estimated 6.5. And it could possibly end up basically turning out on the number scale of a 6.7, highly possible. Again, 129 kilometers deep. And mind you, like I was mentioning, such a quake like this with such power could do such devastation. It's just unbelievable. This area is always constantly within hitting all the big magnitudes within that seismic of range. And you guys all know that. Recently, there were some updates to the 3D globe. And as you can see here, looking at my past previous videos that I have done, you'll see the difference on the quality of the globe. It was good, but there has been some updates to it. Now we're even getting much better graphic view of what we were all looking at. So it's pretty amazing and very well detailed. I still love the earthquake 3D itself, though this just really sets it off. And truly amazing. If you guys are interested in the app for yourself, let me know and I will get you guys the link. Or you can go to the website at www.esearchy.com where I do have that available. You can click there. So either way, let me know, you guys. Now, Solomon Islands, they got hit pretty well as a 4.9. Might as well consider that a 5.0. 78.67 kilometers in depth, but not nearly as lethal as that 6.5. Like I was saying, an estimate more likely a 6.7, and again, highly possible on the Richter scale. Over here, again, Papua New Guinea with a 4.3, and this was shallow at 47.79 kilometers in depth only. Now, again, back to this 6.5. On top of it, you're going to see even more. 5.4 at only 10 kilometers, and that's where these bigger quakes become more lethal. Yes, sometimes the deep quakes, they could trigger quite a bit because there are things deeper down in the Earth's core than what usually happens up and above. So there could be multiple cracks down deeper in the crust versus some areas you'd see above, more like on grounds. What I mean by that is the way you see all these fault lines throughout the whole globe, and then of course the Ring of Fire. Now you have the Ring of Fire, which is above, where you can see how it wraps around throughout these continents. Now mind you, if there was something like that inside of the globe itself somewhere, something a lot of folks don't even think about. Now, following by that 6th quake, now this is exactly, let's zoom in real quick. Let's zoom in. I want to show you guys this really amazingly in great detail. So here we are here. And this is what I mean. This is why I love this globe so much. And look at the great detail. So here is exactly where this quake has struck in these areas. And there are a lot of homes around within through here, as you can see already. So this quake struck right up in this land, right here in this area. So, is there a massive fault that's rippling right through? Or is there definitely something going on underneath, below where this whole part of the land is, this island? Now, again, 91.86 kilometers. Now, this is what I was talking about just a second ago. When they're really deep, yes, you're going to feel them. But as I said, as an example, which this right here, 91.86 kilometers, pretty well close to what I was mentioning. This is where you're going to really feel the shakes. This is where they really pack a definitely double whammy when it comes to a shallowness like this. Again, you're looking at well over 12 magnitudes of the two quakes put together. That's pretty darn big. Now, something like that was to actually strike a 12 or 13 magnitude, that would be beyond, I think, what anybody could even think of. Now, lately, I've heard other channels actually now mentioning what I first started mentioning about the West Coast. A lot of folks were thinking basically maybe like a 9 or 8 or a maximum 10 magnitude. My past videos, I was mentioning how there is a possibility, which not a people really think of, but hey, if a quake was to strike, it ain't gonna be within a 10 magnitude quake. You are highly possible of definitely seeing something hit beyond the Richter scale of a 15 to a 16 magnitude quake. It's never happened, but it is highly possible. And when it comes to California, throughout the whole West Coast, and we all know how that situation is, if it was to occur, California, especially something like you see in the movie, for example, that would definitely be beyond that Richter scale of numbers. It wouldn't be a 10. It wouldn't be a 9. It would be within about a 15 magnitude quake. There's just no questions asked, no ifs, no buts. It would be within a 15 magnitude, if not even bigger. If a 10 was to strike along the West Coast, let's take a look over here and look at the amount of seismic activity going on. If it was within that magnitude of range, if a 10 hit, even a 9.8 was to hit, it certainly is enough where it would loosen and trigger a massive domino effect where that next quake would be the 15 magnitude. Because California is nothing but a land of faults all throughout, especially going along through the Cascadia. So mind you, you put together the San Andreas and you put the Cascadia fault super close, not too far away, and then of course the faults within near the San Andreas fault line. That would just be beyond. And recently I've heard a few folks now talking about it, the possibility, and it is. So somebody has been listening to my channel. Thank you. And definitely thinking of the fact of possibility that, hey, wow, we are underestimating the number size of magnitude that could strike. And it's not just California. Mind you, the biggest quake that we've had out in Mexico, you guys remember that, and it hasn't stopped. Now it's calmed down quite a bit some. But over here, you have this quake, and take a look. So you have this one that we're seeing at a 5.1, 110.54 kilometers in depth. And this was on Friday, December the 17th. 2017, on the 15th of December. Excuse me. God, I'm stepping a day ahead. Don't want things to go by that quick. And this baby struck out in basically the middle of the boondocks. This is out in the main forest, basically, you could say. So there is multiple fault areas that do run through. And these lines, which has been an update, I believe these are actual faults that do run through these dotted lines, if I'm not mistaken. They have updated this globe quite a bit some. Now, on Earthquake 3D, the Walton edition, there was faults that were listed like this. Australia has a bunch of them that I found out, and I didn't even realize that Australia has so many faults running through there, and they're marked up, but not all of these maps will have them marked up. So I'm definitely going to estimate that this is what we're looking at. Excuse me there. What we are looking at is the indication of fault lines that they have listed. So this is the only area that we're looking at right here. But of course, you're going to see them marked out in other areas as well. So, for example, look how this one's following through. The two end up running into the one. I don't think these are train tracks because the train tracks, they don't list them like this with the dotted lines. So, zoom in a little bit more. Give this a second to load up a little bit. But yeah, so these are the dotted lines indicated of the faults. So it is definitely a lot of rocking that was going on throughout Mexico and is not done. Just unbelievable, you guys. I am highly amazed with the update that they have done with this globe. It was great before, but now, I mean, just the detail. Again, I'm going to have to send a message to the creator and the developer of this app just because, wow, superb. Indeed, really. The two best earthquakes, updates, and maps. For those of you, if you're trying to keep an eye out for earthquakes or want to watch them yourself, the two best ones is currently this one, which is Earthquake 3D Pro, and then following by the Walton.net edition Earthquake 3D Globe itself. Those are the two best ones, this one and that one. And this one does use multiple different sources as well to monitor and keep you updated, and they're highly accurate as well. Now here, take a look at this. We have a couple quakes, but nothing major. 4.3, 75.4 kilometers in depth. So nothing too crazy, but again, it's still a lot of activity going on. These are definitely up within the good size range of seismic. Over here, you have another 4.3, and then following up over here, you have another 4.3 magnitude. And this area has never stopped ever since that near 9 struck Mexico. That was a huge, massive, monstrous earthquake. I mean, unbelievable how huge that thing was. And it caused a whole bunch of damage. And a lot of people certainly lost their lives. And over here, look how quiet and calm all throughout here was. Now, before, when we were doing this, you guys remember how many earthquakes were constantly, even Dutch sensors going around, keeping everybody updated daily on this. And it's just insane on how many earthquakes just kept going and going. So from all the previous big quakes, for example, let's come back over here. For all the big quakes that were striking all through this area, and then coming all the way up over here, and then of course, we're going to get to New Zealand here in a minute. But there were so many quakes. You guys remember this? From the last couple of months, we were seeing 6s and 6s and then 6.7, 6.8s constantly in this area. And when it went on and on and on, during that time of those quakes, it was constantly rocking. Now, nothing major, but again, we were seeing basically 4s and tons of 2s and 3s all through here from Turkey all the way to the very end over here, you guys, right up within Portugal. I mean, there was no doubt that that had to do certainly with the earthquakes that were striking from Indonesia, basically as far out as New Zealand. Just so much movement going on, all that vibration just spreads out, and then coming throughout the rest of this globe, I'm surprised how quiet it is. That was a huge drop of earthquake activity, 3.7, 10 kilometers, very shallow, but still nothing big, thank goodness. Though, take a look here. Now this island, see if there's any housing or anyone on here. There's a lot I haven't seen around the globe, and I need to do a lot of traveling. Just pop on the chair, get on the 3D globe, and just browse and look how lively this is. There is a lot of people living on this island, and it is packed. I mean, it's loaded. So everyone who is living on here, they're feeling these quakes that are not too far away. They're feeling every single one of these earthquakes. 3.7, that's the one we just read off. Now, these are not too far away. This is a bigger mass of land. I mean, mind you, look how huge this is versus this. And I mentioned that in previous videos as well. When it comes to those living on islands, and you're on such a small mass of land like this, and when earthquakes, even though they're not massive and they hit, but within these distances, even though these people may have a little or feel a little something of rumble, but not over here. They're going to feel it a lot more versus what a big massive land would. Over here, 3.9. More likely, probably about a 4.0. You put it up on the main list. Now, coming here, you also have another one, 2.8, super small, and another one at a 2.6. And then, of course, ending with this one with a 2.5 magnitude earthquake. So very amazing. Nice to see that it is calm the way it is versus the last couple of months. It was pretty gnarly with the amount of seismic activity. Over here, take a look at this. We got some earthquake activity starting to rickle up. 4.4 magnitude quake, and it was a super shallow kilometers of depth. And also you have a 4.7, 197 kilometers deep. Let's go ahead and zoom on in and let's take a look and check it out. Let's see what we got over here. And this one did strike. It seems pretty much way up in the hills, way deep up in there. And here it is. Satellite running a little bit slow here. Now you can see the water stream rolling up on through this whole area. I mean, truly amazing. Now, with the stream, how all this runs on through here, there's definitely something probably underneath below, which there has been quite a bit of quakes in here before. And there could be a possibility, it could be a fault that runs through there, and don't even know about that. There's a lot that I still need to look into myself, you guys, and I have a lot of catching up to do as well. That's why I wanted to do a live stream instead of just recording. Just go live, and that way it gets to you right away. Now here, take a look. Check this out. Wait, 5.3 and only 9.01 kilometers. That is super shallow. Now, mind you, if that was a 6.5 or a 6.7, then there would be some definitely stuff to be even more talking about. 4.7 magnitude, 12 kilometers in depth. Now zooming on out, take a look at the rest of the globe, and coming up over here, could there be a possibility of a 6.1 striking within the coming week through this whole area? You guys keep an eye out for Japan within the coming week, because we just might see a 6.1 magnitude coming up around the corner. The way how this movement has been before I came on and went live, I went on ahead and checked out a couple other sources and was looking at maps and the numbers. And with the pressure that is running through here, that's the high possibility of it. I do put it about an 88% chance that we may see a 6.0 or a 6.1. Hopefully we don't, and I hope I am off a little bit by even further weeks. I don't want to see a 6 magnitude at all whatsoever. But again, the way how some of these earthquakes have been going, and my past basically ahead of time updates saying this we might see, have been pretty well on point and pretty well right. Again, there's a lot of movement going on through here, and this is coming on both ends, from one end all the way to the other side. Now, here's one that basically I call in the center, 5.2 magnitude, 48.84 kilometers in depth, and then following by another one, which was a 4.4, and then we have another one at a 4.5, and then coming back, let me zoom out real quick. Coming up over here, you have, mind you, we are looking at 4.0, 230 plus kilometers in depth. And then here's where it gets a little bit crazy. Now, 4.9, more likely 5.0. But again, mind you, like I was saying, keep an eye out for the coming week, you guys. If not, no later than the following week for a possible 6 strike anywhere within the area. Now here, you have up in Alaska, 2.6, and Alaska lighting up like a Christmas tree with tons of 3s and 2 magnitude quakes. Here, we got a 4.0 magnitude, followed by multiple quakes striking right here at 4.6, and then followed by another quake within its magnitude range. Let's take a look here. Don't want to miss this quake and leave this quake out. Let me zoom on in a little bit more. This one was a 3.3. So very close to a 4.0. But this is the bigger quake right there. Now zoom in on out further. Patterns are building up again as the usual, and take a look over here. You have a 3.0 magnitude quake following by another one at 2.9, more likely possibly a 3.0. And then again, here's a 3.5 at 51 kilometers in depth, following by another quake not too far away at a 3.3. Now here is where things are even getting a little bit more lively. You have 4 quakes literally running from one side and almost nearly hitting the other side over here. It could fulfill that within the next few days. 2.6 magnitude quake, 52 kilometers in depth, following by another 2.5. And again, this is the Red Dot volcano, and some movement going on in there as well. So these quakes could have a part to do with that. 3.1, and then coming out even further, you have another one at a 2.5. Now, here is something that's going to even get more interesting to you guys. So, let me ask you this. Do you guys see anything that kind of catches your eye real quick while we're looking on at basically this landmine, this whole thing area? This whole mass of land? Now take a look at this. Something definitely is going on, because of course you see it here on satellite. Some sand, a lot of dirt moved around, and it's definitely all up into the ocean. You can see here, I mean, you guys, there's a lot of sand moving out. So could these quakes have loosened, or could this volcano, could something be waking up and all this sand coming in? You can see the movement of the water. Let me zoom out a little bit more. You can see all the movement of water throughout here. And then also, take a look. Usually it's never like this unless there's a lot of movement of something going on. And coming up even further, I mean, look at this. So, what is going on with Alaska? That's a movement, you guys. So, let me know what you think about that. That did catch my eye there for a second. Now, come out to a couple other areas. Let's go ahead and get these quakes real quick. We got the 3.8 magnitude, following by a 3.5, and that pretty much sums it up for Alaska, other than the rest of these 2+ magnitudes right here that you're looking at. Now, coming along to the west coast, let's go and take a look over here up near Montana, and here it is, 13 kilometers east-southeast of Lincoln, Montana, and there's the 2.6 magnitude. So Montana has seemed to be pretty calm, but if you guys haven't heard, there has been a lot of movement of underground volcanic activity within the Yellowstone Mountain. So scientists were coming out saying that they can now predict when a volcano is going to go. I don't still think that they can actually officially predict even till this moment. Because in the past, some of the even smartest scientists have predicted things and they have been off. So just Mother Nature, and then of course everything on top, along within Mother Nature itself, her brain, we'll put it that way, I say it in that kind of form, basically could happen any moment. So it could happen 5 minutes from now and not know it. Pretty crazy stuff. Guys want to see some really great information, get a chance, go check out Woodward TV. Very, very cool channel. So again, shout out to Woodward TV. You guys go check him out. You guys will really enjoy his channel. If you haven't yet already, visit Woodward. Again, Woodward TV YouTube channel. Before we end this quake, I do want to give a shout out to youtube.com. YouTube, thank you as well so much. You guys, if it wasn't for YouTube, I don't think any of this kind of stuff would ever exist, from all the great YouTubers, from gaming to just entertainment content to everything itself, all of it in general, to be able to go do live stream or to be able to go ahead and create a channel and do something you love to do wouldn't probably be around if it wasn't for YouTube. So again, big support for YouTube and a big shout out to youtube.com. Thank you very much. continuing on before we end this real quick, 4.26 magnitude quake, and this is Laytonville, California. California has been devastated by fires, you guys. So much stuff going on. California is my hometown, and just unbelievable. Just the amount of devastation has happened, and there is some stuff that kind of has thrown me off a little bit, and I just kind of just you're scratching your head because of how these fires had started, and it's just something very much different. Now here we got some crazy stuff going on here. I don't know what to say about this one along the west coast. Looks like a lot of water movement going on through, and some pretty good sized waves, it seems, or because these don't look like clouds, I'll say that. Or it could be a glitch, who knows, but I will leave it at that. But this is water coming on in, and let's take it even zoom further. Look at this, just look at this water movement. Unbelievable. Truly beautiful, but again, at the same time, very interesting. What do you guys think? Let me know about this too. Especially that one of the biggest faults even run through here, not just San Andreas, but how massive this thing is and how far it travels. Could there be some movement due to all the smaller quakes? Could that be causing some of this movement in the water itself? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Those of you who did miss the live stream, at least you still get to watch this as the update for today. And I will be doing some more updating within the next day or two. Hopefully tomorrow I get on here and I will do another update. I got to keep you guys really updated on everything. I still am working on some UFO stuff. And a matter of fact, got some cool stuff to tell you. A great story of the ranch out here in Arizona. You guys haven't heard about that? The UFO ranch. It's being sold. Nobody has yet purchased all of that property. And the story is just amazing. But I got to go down there myself, and I want to go see. Though it is a holiday, so I'm going to wait because I don't want to get beamed up by an alien while I'm there. So who knows? Take a ride on Santa's sleigh. Texas, 2.9 magnitude striking out in Texas. And then, of course, Oklahoma. Holy moly. They've been getting rocked and then some. I mean, check this out. And then, of course, all the just pressure things that are just pushing stuff into the Earth's grounds that is also not helping. Now, over here, before we end this earthquake, take a look over here. Puerto Rico getting quite a bit of seismic activity as well. I mean, you look at this, you guys. These are all within 3.3s, 3.2s. You got 2.5s. For example, this one right here, probably close, a 2.85 magnitude quake. And then over here at a 3.72. So definitely right on point with these quakes here, and a lot of them. Things are building up. Last year, there was a big quake that struck over there, and I gave a heads up possibility of that quake happening, and it certainly did. Now here, there are some more, looks like they just refreshed, and we got a couple new quakes. But continuing on, we have this one. 4.7 magnitude earthquake, and then here's another quake at a 4.8. So definitely, you guys, we got some stuff coming ahead right around the corner. Now, New Zealand, not going to forget about that. Again, New Zealand, take a look. Since things have been refreshed, looks like we did miss that quake. When this gets updated, everything does change. For some reason, we're not now getting the quake in New Zealand, but New Zealand was up in the red zone with that earthquake. Indonesia is definitely not done yet, you guys. There's going to still be some more quakes striking all within that whole area. Now, let's take a look over here real quick. We got that 5.3 magnitude earthquake, and then also coming up in Tonga. Take a look at this one with a 5.1 within Tonga area. And then this one's getting up in the ranks with a 4.6, highly super close to a 5. Now, here we got movement. 5.0, 10 kilometers in depth, but then we have a bigger quake, and it's more than just a 1. And as see here, if you look clearly, you can see there is definitely multiple cracks all within the ocean's floor. So there is a bunch of plates that are just being shifted. 6.3 magnitude earthquake with a rumbling 6.5. Definitely the 6.5, more likely about a 6.6. And then at 6.3, there is a possibility of that being within near at least about a 6.5 or a 6.6 also. Highly possible on the scale. So for the next week to come, for the rest of this week, following by the following week ahead, stay tuned. Keep an eye out for Japan for that possibility of the quake that I mentioned for that to happen. Hopefully it doesn't, and I hope I am off just a little bit, or at least wrong, I shall say, on that quake. But the way how it's looking over here, I look pretty well assured that we will see that earthquake. As far as Indonesia, what are the possibilities for another big 6 magnitude to come? Could we see a 7 magnitude anytime soon from anywhere around this area, all the way starting up from within here? Papua New Guinea, highly very well known, and even including near Tonga and Solomon, you guys always get quakes. But my concern right now is from Papua New Guinea to Indonesia. I'm 50-50 that we might, but there will be within the next couple of days. Keep an eye out for those big 6s because they're not over yet for this area. We might see about a 6.2 within the next day or within the next couple 2-3 days ahead. This is IR Vibes. You guys, much love. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Don't forget, love, live, smile. This is IR Vibes, your info, your entertainment, and your reviews.